Hey there, BookTube. Noah. Everyone who reads and must converse is the channel. Today I wanted to add to a series that I have ongoing on my channel called the Philosophical Sci-Fi series. This is a series in which I explore sci-fi works in a philosophical light. Today I'm doing More Than Human by Theodore Sturgeon. This is an older work. This was written in 1953. It is amazing how forward-thinking this book is. Originally, it was a little short story. This book is told in three parts. So the second part of this book is basically just a psychoanalysis. We have a character undergoing a psychoanalysis by choice, goes into a, a psychologist's office and asked to be worked on, therapy, psychoanalyzed, and submits to that. And it turns out that this being is more than human, is a higher level in evolution from a human being. Just knowing that, you have an idea worked out that is a moral philosophy. This being does not have any morality because there is no other beings like it. It is not relative to anything. This book takes that second part. That is the second part of this book, but takes that short story and there is a before, a little about the same size number of pages, 60, 70 maybe. Before that, and then another 60 or 70 pages after that, and Theodore Sturgeon tacked those two pieces on to the before and after of his short story and created this work here. It is very, very cool. So, in the first part, we have one of the most hardcore, very, very disturbing openings of any book that I've read. Theodore Sturgeon loves doing these damaged characters that are very damaged mentally, physically sometimes, and there's no line that he's crossing. I mean, he's just really, really hardcore with it. So there's your warning for any Theodore Sturgeon, really, because the other one that I've read is The Dreaming Jewels, and it is there is definitely characters that have those kind of attributes as well. So we open up on a very disturbing story of two young girls, two daughters that are basically locked in their home by their father, who is very mentally disturbed, and these girls cannot even see themselves naked, like even in a bath or something. They take baths in the dark in a room with no windows because it is evil for them to see their own body. Men are evil, women are evil. It's just a really messed up kind of household there, and it works out very, very tragically, that opening there. So there's your warning. Um, who we follow during the first part is an idiot. They call him the fabulous idiot. I guess the fabulous idiot is the name of the first part, and we meet a character named Lone. It's his own name. He doesn't speak. He's a mute, and he can't even think at the beginning of it. So he gives himself a name once he's learning how to talk a little bit, and it's Alone, because that's the only thing he can relate to in his whole life is being alone. So, but he can't even say the word completely, so he says Lone, and that's his name for the rest of the book. So Lone meets one of these young girls, and they are Theodore Sturgeon frames them as an innocent, and an innocent is an adult who can communicate the way that a baby does, which is basically telepathically, communicate through feeling from mind to mind. And a baby can communicate like that. an adult that can do that is an innocent. Well, Lone can hear that communication. So an adult that can hear how babies speak, because usually, even in later childhood, kids, people lose the ability to hear that kind of communication explicitly. But an adult that can keep hearing that is an idiot. And what happens when an idiot and an innocent meet and touch each other? Well, the innocent ceases to be innocent, and the idiot ceases to be an idiot. So Lone and this girl meet up, and then what happens is very tragic, but it opens Lone up to thinking. It opens his mind up and his experience of life up. And Lone then becomes more and more capable. But Lone is not like normal human beings, of course. And then we meet a group of other characters. Janie is the main girl here, and then there's two twins, two African American girls, and they're twins. Bonnie and Bessie are their names. Janie is a telekinetic. Janie can move things with her mind. And Bonnie and Bessie are teleports. They can basically go anywhere they want as long as they can think of that place and they know that place. But Bonnie and Bessie cannot speak very well at all either. They never learn how to talk. So all these beings are very damaged in a way, but then they are open in other ways. And then we have a baby. Lone gets taken in by a couple, and they don't have any children, and they raise Lone up for a number of years and teach him how to talk and teach him how to do things, and while he is growing inside, and then he goes off back by himself. And when he goes off by himself back into the woods, things like that, they have a child. And they have a child, and that child is called a mongoloid in the book. It is some birth defect, some physical defect where this child has a giant head, oversized brain, but the body is completely, not developed and not going to develop. This child is always going to be very stunted and never get really over, a visual age of like 8 or 9. But this baby has another power as well. And when Lone, Janie, and the two twins and the baby all get together, they form a type of being. It is a symbiotic relationship, and the baby is like the brain, and Janie can communicate with the baby, and the baby is pretty much omniscient. If there is a question asked, the baby can answer that. And Janie can communicate that then to Lone. Bonnie and Bessie can go and do anything they want, and Lone is kind of like the activity, the decision maker, and the action of this being. So they all kind of take their cues from Lone. So they form this kind of being. They call it Homo Gestalt, and it is a further evolved form of a human being. Lone takes under his wing a very damaged young boy named Jerry. And Jerry learns to do what Lone does for the family. When Lone succumbs to an accident, he has a tree fall on him, Jerry takes over that kind of head role in the family. And not head as in thinking, but head as in action, because the baby is the mind of this being. Through the second part, it is a very wonderful early psychoanalysis of a evolved being, Gerald. And then at the end of that part, the question comes up as, what the hell is morality anyways? And then the third part is working that idea out. We have a symbiotic future higher evolved form of humanity that is pretty much immortal because the beings can be, replaced after one being might die from old age or an accident or whatever it is. Another human being can take that person's place and perform what it is that they need that needs to be performed for this being to continue going and growing. We see it with Lone, and then Baby says that Baby can also be replaced as well. That there's other beings, human beings, that whose minds are opened up like this, that they can take Baby's place at a future time. So we know that. In the third part, we see Janie completely alone, no longer with the group, but she breaks this guy, a regular human being, out of jail, a guy that has been destroyed by Gerald, the leader of this Homo Gestalt, and Janie is bringing him to understanding why his life has been destroyed, who has done it, Gerald, and then brings him face to face with Gerald. And it's very cool because we explore some ideas now of what is morality, because and what kind of ethic is what it comes down to. What kind of ethic is needed for a higher evolved human consciousness? Because even though this is multiple human beings working together to form one being, they are part of humanity. And Gerald is kind of not seeing this and not understanding this. So a regular human being needs to come, and how Theodore Sturgeon works it out is very, very cool. And the climax is very, very satisfying. And we get to very, very big ideas in this book. For 180 pages and a quick read as well. It's amazing how much Theodore Sturgeon can pack into a story. And this is a wonderful exploration of further human evolution, not relative to any kind of tech, not relative to any kind of thing going on with human beings as a society, as a culture. This is internal human evolution, higher evolution of mind, and Theodore Sturgeon does a very fun thing with this. Check it out if I've inspired you at all, and catch you on the next one, BookTube. Give me a comment, a holler if you like it, and let me know. Bye bye.